Hey, Marc Warnke, the goat guy here. So, Christmassy time. You can see that we just had our Christmas parties in here, and that was really fun to have the family out in this space. We're so grateful for it. But I want to talk to you today about the kid trainer and all its many uses. And so if you're a goat owner of any kind, dairy goats or meat goats or pet goats or Nigerian dwarves, and you just want to put a saddle on a goat that works on a goat, that's super affordable, this is the one. I believe we're the only ones who make something like this that works well for goats, that does it properly. So these do fit clear down to the little Nigerians. And just remember, we've made straps long enough to fit bigger goats, so you would just shorten your straps and it makes it really great. But it comes with these individual packs, and this is important. I see a lot of people put dog packs on goats, and remember, if you're going to put any kind of weight on them, they have to have space for their spine. So that's what these little pads do, is they keep the weight off of the actual spinous processes, fits on each side, goes around the goat, fits on the front, fits on the back. So it does have a breast collar and it does have a britchin, and those are all very easy to use. Here's the britchin and then the breast collar, and it connects in, and then you have 2 cinches. So you do have a double cinch, and it's a really well-made saddle for quite inexpensive. So the different uses for it is going to be your pet goat, a Nigerian dwarf, a young packer in training, or just your pet goat, and it works well on does. Now, if you kind of want the next level up, that's the adult soft saddle, and it's a similar design. It's just made more rugged, more durable. It's better design. The packs are larger and can hold more weight. And if you're just kind of a light packer and want one for an adult doe or an adult goat, but you're still a leisure packer, the most affordable saddle and pannier set available on the market is our adult soft saddle. We call this the kid trainer because it's made for pack goats in training, but again, doubles really nicely and is super affordable for the 4-H'ers. This is the one that you want to get your 4-H'ers, or the adult soft saddle if you want to spend a low amount of money but get a high amount of use. These come in really nice. Now the key is twofold. Number one, keep the weight off the spinous processes with this gap right here, and hold it up so you can see it. So again, when it sits on the goat, the weight is resting on each side of the spine rather than on top of the spine. And the other thing you can't do with things that are like dog packs or those sorts of things is you can't unattach the actual pannier itself. Because remember, these saddles are very reliant on equal weight on each side not to spin them, so that they don't get off balance and one hanging up here or one hanging down there. So you have to be within about a half a pound to a pound each side to make these things function really nicely. And and these will hold a decent amount of stuff. You'd be surprised. I mean, it's a nice big pack. But you got to remember, you want to be within a half a pound or slightly over than that per side. And the only way to do that is to be able to detach the pannier, which this design does. And you're going to need one of these little guys. You can get these on PackGoats.com as well. And it's a scaling loop, and it's a digital readout. So you can weigh each side, put it on. Now you have equal weight on each side, and you put these on the goat and they're ready to go. Now for the 4-H'ers, as well as people just looking for a super simple, quick, easy system to pack in something light, take a sandwich down to the river or up to the mountain or that sort of thing on your doe or your young packer or just your pet, they're really simple. And part of 4-H in the community is speed. So how quickly do you get the saddle on your goat? And the nice part about it is if you have these preloaded, which they allow, it is super easy to put this saddle on a goat really quickly, which will help you with your 4-H stuff as well. So they're actually made amazingly well. We put a lot of time and energy to making them high quality, and you'll see when you get them. So I suggest if you have a Nigerian dwarf, or you have a pet, or you're a 4-H'er, or those sorts of things, and you want to go down the road of having your goats carry loads, it can really be beautiful. Now, one note that I will say, remember with your young goats, your 1 to 2-year-olds, you don't want to put a lot of weight on them. You would just use things like bulk. So you would just, like a sleeping bag on one side and, a water bottle and stuff on the other side. loads less than 10 pounds on a young packer. You don't want to load them up. You really just want to make sure you're teaching them with bulk, and the same with any of the young goats in the other breeds. You don't want to load them heavy. Let a goat get to that 2 and 3 year old point before you start adding weight. At 3 years old, you can throw pretty good weight at them, about 75% of an adult, and at 4 you can max capacity, which most goat, and myself as a packing expert, 25% is a really nice place. If you have a really high level string, or you have a really high level goat, which you wouldn't be using on these things, on stuff like that, it's 25 to 35%. I rarely go 35, Mom, usually 25 to 30. If it's a young packer, it's like 10%, 5%, those sorts of things of body weight. So I hope you find that helpful. Remember that I help people to raise goats and raise packers and teach them. We got courses and we got a goat club membership and all kinds of fun stuff. But if you want to have fun with your goats, get them these kid trainers. They can be super fun.